My name is Kendra Highwater, and I am a cook and a songwriter and a mother. And I live in Nevada City, California, and I grew up in this area since I was 4 years old. And right now in my life, I've been experiencing homelessness for the last year and a half. And as of recently, my kids just moved to Illinois because I couldn't provide a house for them. And so I'm here to talk a little bit about separation and also the closeness in separation and how much you realize you love and you miss the people that are the most important to you, even though they're thousands of miles away. Since I was a kid, I always had a hard time with the idea of the experience of having a home. When I was a kid, my mom used to move all the time, like almost every year. And so just having a sense of home and a sense of stability has been a hard thing for me. And a couple years ago, I had a really good income, and I finally got this beautiful, lovely house that was right down the street, this old Victorian house. I filled it with art and music and books, and it was right off Deer Creek, and we had that in our backyard, and we were just walking distance from town, and I absolutely loved it. And just a few months after I got this incredible house, I lost my job, and I ended up having to work 3 different jobs to just try to afford the spot. And after a year, and when my lease was up, I had to move out, and I had nowhere else to go because everything is just too expensive right now. But before that happened, before I lost my job, almost immediately before I lost my job, I was at Burning Man. It was my first time at Burning Man. And part of Burning Man is giving gifts. And this little girl gave me this little gift. She had some wooden necklaces that her and her dad made, and each of them on the back said something. And when I received mine, it said growth, and I knew immediately when I got this necklace and had it in my hands that I was going to lose my house. At the time, that was the only thing that was going to propel me even further, was to lose my house, and I just knew it.
Well, why was that came to mind? Why was it the house, losing something for growth?
Because that's, having a home has always been a thing that's been hard for me to grasp and hold on to. And once I finally got this beautiful house that we had, I knew that was the biggest thing I could lose.
When you say we, you mean your children
kids,
and
yeah.
your partner, or
no, just me and my kids.
Your kids,
yeah.
Okay.
And that would be the biggest thing for me to lose. And that's how you grow, is by losing things, or like a fire sweeps an area and then everything grows.
Well, is that akin to loss akin to failure? I mean, it's kind of in the same.
No, I don't think it's akin to failure.
I mean, people say, well, you don't learn unless you succeed until you fail, type of,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it kind of sounds something parallel to that.
Maybe, but I think it's just being challenged by not having the thing that you thought you could hold on to. And then who are you once you lose the thing that you thought you had, that thing that you thought you had possession over. So this little necklace has been in my car for the last 2 years, and this is the first time I've pulled it out of my car that I've been living in as well for the last year or so. And definitely a lot of challenges with being houseless. There's a lot of daily challenges as far as just getting ready to go to work, and where do you put your things, and how are you presentable in front of other people when you have no place to take a shower or get cleaned up, or you have nowhere to make food, all those types of things.
Can you share what kind of work you do?
I'm a cook, and so I make food for everybody else.
Right.
But I don't have a kitchen of my own. And honestly, the houseless thing, it's not my identity. It's just a part of my life right now. And
How
I'm glad.
how long you been cooking?
I've been cooking for, I mean, my whole life, but like professionally in kitchens for like 7 years.
Okay.
And I love getting to make food for people, and especially soups. I always tell people soups are my love language. And, you know, whether you're at the Classic Cafe where I work or in any other kitchen I've worked, that people know that soups are my love language.
Nice. What are your children's names?
Henry, River, and Fox Atkinson.
Henry, River, and Fox.
Yeah, they're
okay.
14, 11, and 10 as of right now. All boys. And they just started school in Illinois this last week. And my oldest son, Henry, when the last time I talked to him, his voice just dropped a little bit. And I won't go into so much detail about how it's definitely been hard not being with them and having to love them from afar. That kind of hits me at different times. It especially hits me on the weekends. Every weekend, it's a reminder that they're not here. But a couple weeks ago, I got a bunch of text messages from my kids, and they sent me all these photos of them at the zoo. But it wasn't them; it was just the animals at the zoo. And there was monkeys peeing on the ground, and it was, you know, all the different animals doing different things. But the monkey thing really I thought was sweet and funny that they wanted to show me that. And then
they forgot to take pictures of themselves to send you.
Yeah, and then so I go through this whole thread of like photos and videos, and when I get to the very top of it, it was my youngest son Fox, just a picture of him smiling in the parking lot.
Aww.
And when I saw that, I just lost it. I cried so hard. And the next morning, I wrote a song about him and my boys and about how hard it is to love them over the phone. And it's always been a hard thing for me to love anyone outside of my realm if I can't hold you. It's just, I don't know how to do that.
Do you fear loss? Are you intimidated, or because you mentioned loss? Like being separated or losing something. Because I have to look at myself too and wonder, like the patterns that I have or the behaviors. Like, do I protect myself from loss by not getting close to somebody or whatever? You know, like do you see anything?
Honestly, I think I'm kind of used to loss.
Yeah.
And I'm used to things being taken away from me. The things that I love being pulled away from me.
And I can totally identify with this.
Yeah. So I think I've always kind of been in anticipation that like anything that I love will be gone at some point.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, I try to love that thing as much as I can while it's there, just in case it's gone at some point.
Yeah.
And
maybe that's the real underlying theme for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's like, cherishing the, it sounds cliche, but it's so true. Like, cherishing the moment.
Yeah.
Right.
And also because people and things, they aren't your possession, right? And so
as much as we want to make them ours.
Yeah.
At times.
They're not our possession.
Yeah.
My kids are not my possession. My friends are not my possession. My lovers are not my possession. My house was not my possession. I don't own any of those things. And
what about your music? In a way you can say it's yours, right?
It's mine, but it's
who can take it away?
Yeah. I don't feel ownership over my music, I guess. I don't feel possessive, I think, probably over anything. And maybe that's over years of like losing things that I just don't feel like it's mine. And I also have lost my ego a really long time ago. I also my ego's not even mine either.
I think that's the first time I heard anyone say that. Usually they can't walk into that realm.
No. And with my kids, as much as I'm just sad that I don't get to see them growing right now. I'm sad that I don't get to hear their stories every day. I'm sad that I don't get to like hear what their new favorite thing is, or
Yeah.
Or just hearing them around in the background, or all of that. But it's not because they're mine. It's that they're themselves, and I miss getting to see them being themselves. And but I think that it's going to take a year or two for me to figure out my life a little bit better, so I can provide a place for them to come back here if they want to. And until then, I don't have harsh judgment on myself about where I'm at right now. I think that could be easily done to think, because I'm living in my car or sleeping in my car, that I'm in the wrong place. But I actually think that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be in the cemetery talking to you in Nevada City, and I'm supposed to be working at the cafe where I work, and I'm supposed to be making music. And my kids on their own are going to keep becoming the incredible humans that they're going to become, and it has nothing to do with me. And I'm not going to say it's never had anything to do with me. I hope that I kind of guided them a little bit with love and respect and understanding and a little bit of discipline. But they're just going to be who they're supposed to be, and I'm going to be where I'm supposed to be right now. I feel very confident that I'm where I'm supposed to be, even though it doesn't look great on paper.
Right. To others especially. Yeah.
But sitting in this old grass in this old cemetery talking to you, it's exactly where I was supposed to be.
I have a question. You just played a song. I don't know if I'm going to put it as the intro or at the end of the story.
Yeah.
I haven't decided that yet. But the song that you just played, was that the one that I heard you play in public?
Yeah.
That I thought had such an emotional. Just hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it was that, because you played a couple of them.
Yeah. So when I met you at the Briar Patch, I usually don't play that song that I just played, because it usually makes me cry. And I wrote this when I was in San Diego earlier this year, and it was like in January. I took my kids down as a Christmas present. I took them down to Legoland, and while I was down there, I had some car troubles, and I couldn't figure out how to get back home to Nevada City with my car, and so I ended up having to fly them back home, and then I was stuck in San Diego for 3 weeks, and I, at the time, I was houseless being here in Nevada City, but then now I was in San Diego houseless without a car, and it was difficult, because I was like, well, even if I just get back home to Nevada City, I have no vehicle to even be houseless in. And so I wrote that song while I was at the beach. I was staying in Ocean, I think it's called Ocean Beach, San Diego. And every day I would go to the beach and I would play my music. And there was this song that needed to come out about the universe giving and taking away. And you just have to watch it come in or watch it leave. And there's nothing else you can do except for experience it. And I also wanted to write that song to let them know that wherever I'm at, at the time I'm at underneath these stars, surrendering my dreams, and I had nowhere to go. But maybe that was exactly where I was supposed to be, is being somewhere where I had nowhere to go, underneath the stars. And that's where I've been for the last year and a half, is just sleeping underneath the stars, which it's not a bad situation. Sometimes it's kind of cold. A lot of times it's uncomfortable. The one thing I really miss about having a house is just having privacy. So I have no privacy when I'm sleeping in my car. But I'm not trying to make it a huge tragedy. It's just where I'm at in my life right now. And
the song that you were just talking about, do you remember the moment, or was there a specific situation or event that it just came to you? And it was in San Diego. You were in San Diego.
It was sitting at the beach, and I was thinking about so the universe is an ocean that gives and takes, and I'm watching the ocean. It's tides coming in, and it's rolling away.
Nice. Okay.
And that all you can do is be witness to it. Sometimes in your life you can witness having, luxury, you can witness having abundance, and you can witness having all these things given to you. And sometimes you have to witness it being all taken away. And how are you going to deal with that? If you can be okay in just the abundance and the joy and the happiness, well, if you're not okay when it's all being taken away, are you really ever actually okay? Are you only okay in abundance? And right now I feel like I'm doing okay in it being taken away and it being empty. And as I'm saying that, like, my life is full right now. Like, it's full of so many things, like so many connections, so many things that are happening right now, along with like my music and the friendships I have and all the connections that I've been making lately, as far as like my where my life is going to progress. I just don't have a house, and I don't wake up getting stuck about that. Like, I wake up every day and try to make things happen, and even though it's uncomfortable, just the situation that I'm living in, like, that doesn't mean I can't wake up having a good attitude. I can't wake up with positivity. I can't wake up willing to serve my community and going to work with almost always a good attitude every once in a while. I work in a hot kitchen, and lately it's just been really hot.
Yeah.
But
summertime.
Yeah, summertime, hot kitchen. It's a lot of things I have to manage because I'm managing that kitchen there. But yeah, just because I don't have a house structure doesn't mean that I can't just be present every day. And even though my kids are thousands of miles away, it doesn't mean that I don't love them with every part of my being. I just can't physically do it. And
it doesn't mean they don't love you.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
yeah.
my kids are amazing. They're
Yeah.
so sweet. And it's definitely, it's been challenging for sure, trying to like show love, give love, receive love over the phone. But it's there. And yeah, I got to be grateful for the challenges and these types of situations that happen, because it reminds you what you really love, and reminds you what you're really grateful for, and it reminds you of the things that you had when you had them, and when they're gone, it's not that they're gone, it's just that they you just realize how important they are. And so I really try not to look at it in a negative view, or that this was taken away from me. It's just a part of my life, just a season of it. And I'm looking forward to this next season of things. We're still, where did I put the little necklace? I'm still in growth. And yeah. I've grown a lot here pretty soon.
So I have a question. I want to see if there's a connection, because in another take, we did a couple of takes here, right?
Yeah.
And because we're such professionals here. And you start, I don't know if it was in this take or an earlier one, you said that when you were around 15, you wrote your first song, 15 or 16?
When I was 16, yeah, that's when I bought my first guitar.
And I want to see if there's a connection between that time and to what kind of music you're playing now, what you're honoring in your music now.
Well, actually, what's funny is like one of the first songs I wrote, it's called "There's Nothing Here," and it's about it says, "There's nothing here, mother. Where did the place we call home go?" And it was because my mom used to move us around all the time when I was a kid. We moved like almost every year at some points. And it was that feeling of like not ever having a real home or real house. And now here I am almost 20, I don't know how many years later, 20 plus years later, and I don't have a home to give my kids. But it's in a different context. So like when my mom was moving around a lot, and it was kind of an abusive household, it wasn't just like a sense of home. It was also just like I felt like unloved at that time too, and this like no one who cared for me. And so I think tables turn, like I don't have a home to give my kids, but I have so much love for them. And but at the same time, what is it we do? Like the thing that our parents did, we like repeat the same patterns, but I'm trying to repeat them differently. So even though I don't have a home for my kids right now, it's not out of there's no lack of love for them. I love them so much, but I don't have a place to give them right now.
It's almost like, it almost sounds like when you're growing up, you were living in the face of loss.
Yeah.
With your, you know,
all the time.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I don't know how to connect it to, but I think there is a connection. There is a connection from that first song of "There's Nothing Here, Mother," and it's about me not having a home. And then now I sing that song and I'm like, I did the same thing, but in a different way.
And so the music, let's fast forward to the music that you write, compose now.
Well, lately I've been writing a lot of songs about the women that pioneered the West during the gold rush, which is why I like hanging out in this old cemetery here. But also just like sharing the stories of the women that were out here, and they were, you know, not easy, difficult stories. If you walk through some of these old cemeteries, you see, you know, babies that died young, or, you know, whatever the different ages or how they died, like on some of these tombstones. And you realize this was a rough life for those women and the men that came out here. And when I try to tell the stories of the women that pioneered out here, I'm definitely putting a little bit of my own experience in it too, of love and loss. And then also, okay, so like with my kids, they're thousands of miles away. I can call them in a second. For these folks that were out here, you know, they would travel thousands of miles and pioneer across the country and not see or hear from their loved ones for years or decades, if at all. And sometimes they would have to make the hard decision to like send their kids out with another family member because they knew it would be a better life for them, or they would go into some sort of prospect because they thought, like, if I go do this thing, I'll make the money and then I can like take that back to my family. And, you know, the choices they had to make were really hard, and they would not see each other for, you know, weeks, months, years, or hear from them, you know, through the mail for weeks, months, years, or never see them again. And so it does help me put it in perspective a little bit, you know, where my kids, I could fly to them in 5 hours. And for those folks, it would have taken 5 months to get across the country, you know. And, you know, even though right now my kids and I are separated, there's definitely no lack of love. I love them so much. And every time we get to talk to each other on the phone, it's hard because I cry just hearing their sweet voices, but I don't want to make it about myself, and I don't want to make it a tragedy every time I talk to them, but it's hard not to like just really grieve and miss them every single time. But I know that they're doing great. I raised them to be independent, strong, kind humans, and that is what they're doing. And
school's just started, right?
School just started this last week. Yeah.
Right on.
And yeah, I'm not sure what else to say about that. But
well, the songs that I imagine you go to the historic library here and you've researched prominent women, or what kind of people did you find?
I try not to do women that are like very well known, so I'm not going to do like the Calamity Jane story or like, you know, Annie Oakley. But so recently I did a song about the woman that was hung in Downeyville, which sounds like really important, but most people don't even know about her. And so I'm really honored to get to share her story. There was a woman in Downeyville in 1851 that was hung because she stabbed a man in the chest that broke into her house the night before, and it's it's a really sad story for a lot of reasons, but also this lady, she was a kick-ass, like, badass woman, and she stabbed a guy who broke in her house the night before, and that very same day they hung her, and right before she was hung, even the doctor said there's a child in her womb, and they didn't care, and they still hung her anyways. And when she went to be hung, the line is in the song, she bid adios amigos and shook them farewell, smiled her last, and threw her hat to the crowd. Then they hung her suspended between heaven and hell over the river of Old Downeyville. And when I play that for people, everyone's like stomping their boots and singing along with me, and it's really sweet. But like, what a time. What a time. And all the women that would be looking on to like this happening, like during the gold rush in Nevada City here, the ratio of men to women was 50-1, and in Downeyville it was probably even a larger ratio. And so yeah, for the ladies out here, it was not an easy time, for sure.
And did these songs, just the fact that you gravitated toward writing music about the women of that time, was that just a natural fit, or did you did it take you a while?
Yeah, it was a natural fit because like I grew up here, so I've walked these streets. I feel like I don't know. I'm not gonna say like I had a past life here, but if I did, like, I can sense,
you can feel
like,
it. Yeah.
I would have been one of the prostitutes at the National Hotel or something. One of the gambling hall girls. Gotta make some money. But yeah, I mean, the women that came out here, they had some grit, for sure. They were tough gals. And
God, imagine how many, I mean, not just women, but people in general trying to cross the states didn't make it.
Yeah.
There's
all those stories too.
Right.
Yeah, all the stories of,
so those that
love
made it
and
here,
loss.
Those that made it here were...
I mean, there's more songs to be written, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just puts things in perspective, for sure. But I'm so lucky to live in this beautiful place, and these pine trees and the oak trees and this red dirt. I'm really lucky to be here. And yeah, I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now.
Right on. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to add?
No, it was just really nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Thank you.
One thing thank you for sharing and taking the time to do this. And the one thing I was hoping you might share is, would you play that song about this lady?
Oh, Lady in Downeyville?
Yeah.
Sure. Well, it's a little bit of a story. Alexander Augustus Cannon was devilishly handsome and a son of a bitch. And a young senorita that put an end to him. The history books forgot her name, but her legend still lives. Up at the forks where the North Yuba flows, where 5,000 men sluicing for gold. In the sweltering heat of that 4th of July, Cannon stumbled from the bars and into the night. Then he came to the house of the fair Mexicana, lying asleep with her lover in bed. were as drunk as a judge. She read adios, amigos, and shook them farewell. Smiled her last and threw her hat to the crowd. Then they hung her suspended between heaven and hell. Over the river, rolled down Eville. Here's the salt in the whoop for the ones that she loved. They buried her next to that son of a bitch. And she lay there beside him till her bones turned to clay. Oh, Sepha the fearless, the wild and the brave. Let the tide come in, let it roll away. Don't fret your head, child. It's not where I'm meant to be. Underneath these stars, surrendering my dreams. And the storm. You are my compass, lead me home. That northbound train has been calling out your name. I got a ticket in my hand. It's worth more than gold. So dry your tears, child. Leave a porch light on for me. Set a place at the table. Right where I'm meant to be. My name is Kendra Highwater, and I am a cook and a songwriter and a mother, and I live in Nevada City, California, and I grew up in this area since I was 4 years old, and